Don't you ever wish that survival mode had more useful blocks? Do you ever wish that there were like conveyor belts, maybe like a block that could burn items, or perhaps a block that can go ahead and grind different mobs? Well, in my own opinion, I would really love to see some brand new features just like that within survival mode. But you know, that's probably never going to happen, but it may, maybe one day in the future. But we do ourselves an add-on created by Code and Reagan, and this one is called Helpful Blocks. What this does is it basically introduces a bunch of brand new blocks that you can use in your survival worlds. You can go ahead and have yourself a burner block, a grinder block. You can even have yourself conveyor belts, which is really awesome. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you all the different crafting recipes as well. They will be linked down below. And let's start with the first one, which is going to be the compact block. And now this block does nothing alone. You basically have to go ahead and put that to a stone cutter, which I'll show you in a moment. And then you'll be able to get yourself a conveyor belt. Now, the conveyor belt is really cool. And as we do go on, I will of course explain all about that. But beginning over here, this is basically a crafted. It's actually as hard as obsidian as well. So it will take a little bit of time for you to go and mine it up. So make sure that you get yourself a really good efficiency pickaxe. So that way it's a lot faster to mine up. But anyways, we do have ourselves the grinder block. And for the grinder block, this will basically grind basically any kind of mob. So if I go and throw an item on there, it will not destroy an item. So there's a special block for that. But if I were to go ahead and come inside of here, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a, let's say I go for a pig. I'm sorry pig, okay? Your fate has been applied. But there we go. As you can see, it's going to go ahead and start doing some damage. And it actually makes some quick work with them as well. And now we got ourselves a pork chop. And this right here is the crafting recipe. So you just need to get yourself some cobblestone, some redstone, and a piston. And then next up, we have ourselves the burner block. Now for the burner block, this is going to be the crafting recipe. You do need a dispenser, you need some blaze powder, but you're also going to need to get yourself some cobblestone just like before. And now whenever you go and throw down like an item or perhaps a mob on there, what's going to happen is it's going to go and burn as you just saw right there. So it's very cool. So this could be like your own personal trash can. But you have to be careful because that fire can destroy your house if it's made out of wood. So make sure that you surround it with maybe like cobblestone or a block that's not flammable. But if you do want to have yourself a block that doesn't burn anything, well, this is going to be the block for you. This will go ahead and destroy items, but the one thing is it will not destroy mobs. So keep that in mind. But anyway, if you want to go and craft it, you do need a stone cutter and of course some cobblestones like that. So then next up, we have ourselves the displayer block, and that's how you craft it. You do need a slime block with some slabs and cobblestone. And the cool thing about this is that any kind of mob that's on this thing, it's going to go ahead and stay in place. So this is going to be very useful if you're making yourself like a custom map and you want to make yourself like a statue or something like that. This is very awesome. But if you're using like a creeper or also a monster, make sure you name it so that way it doesn't despawn. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this bat very quickly. But I go and throw it on the pig, and as you can see, the pig will stay put. If I go and punch it, the pig will not move. So this is a very cool block. Now for the filter block, whenever you go and throw down like an item on top of this, the items stay on top. But if you go ahead and throw down like a mob, the mob will go ahead and go down because this is one of the filter blocks. This is known as the entity filter block. Now this one right here, this one is going to be for items. So whenever you go put a mob on there, the mob will stay on top this time. Go ahead and throw down an item, and then the item will go down as well. If you do decide to go and use a hopper on this, and you want to go ahead and make yourself like a sorting system or something like that, well, you can do that, but you cannot have the block directly on top of the hopper. You have to actually have it floating up, and I'll show you that in a moment. But if I'm going to put that there, the item is going to go and drop down, and then it goes right into the hopper. But if I were to go and put this right here, and then I were to go ahead and throw down the item, as you're about to see, this will not actually go to this hopper. It will not go to the second hopper either. Now for the crafting recipe for the filter block for the entities, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need to get yourself some hoppers and some cobblestone. But after you've done that, then you go ahead and put in the entity filter block to get yourself the item block. And that's basically how that works. So you do need a stone cutter for that. But as I mentioned, if you want to go ahead and get yourself the conveyor belts, then you need to go ahead and put in the compact block, and then you'll get access to all the different conveyor belts, plus the elevator block, which is going to be very useful for many contraptions out there. And I like this a lot, because this will be very useful if you're doing like a sorting system. And if you go ahead and combine this with maybe this, then what would happen is you can go ahead and toss the item on there, and then it's just going to go around just like that. And then if you wanted to, you could put maybe like a hopper right there, and then the item is just going to go ahead and go right to the hopper. So this could be a very, very cool system to use within like your sorting systems or something like that. And I like that a lot. Then of course we do ourselves the elevator block, and this works exactly like the conveyor belt, but instead of going around like this, it basically goes up. So if I were to go and toss this right here, as you can see, it's going to go ahead and bring the item up there. Of course, it is very glitchy, may I actually add as well, but you can go ahead and ride this yourself, and then you can go ahead and go to the very top. Now you are going to have to jump because it is going to keep on teleporting you there, but it is still very, very cool that these blocks do exist within this add-on. And Coden did actually point out that he actually took inspiration from Raisin's version of the conveyor belt, and it's just really, really cool. Yet again, going to be very useful for many contraptions out there. But with that one, that's pretty much it for what this add-on does offer us. So if you want to go ahead and get yourself this add-on, there will be a link down below. And I do want to hear your thoughts about what you think of this. And if you enjoyed this video, also let me know by leaving a like on it and subscribe so you never miss an upload. For now, I hope you have a logical day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!